Welcome everyone to the Cosmic Comets Show. Give a warm welcome to your one and only host, Cosmic Comets.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Cosmic Comets Show. This is the first episode, so thank you everyone for turning up, depending where, if you're in the audience here, or if you're watching the video right now. But I am your host, Cosmic Comets, and before you begin, let me just explain what the show is. Basically, every episode I will stand up here, maybe with a guest every now and then, and talk about random stuff all over the platform of Roblox. This could range from random news or massive events and changes. Also, you might notice we are in the middle of a car park. It was all I could rent with my tight budget. Maybe we can afford something better soon. Well, however, today we'll be diving deep and finding out whether or not Roblox simulators are really simulators. Roblox is known for its extensive library of games and simulations, and these simulators have captivated millions of players worldwide. These simulators in particular have gained so much popularity within Roblox community due to their immersive and addictive gameplay. This includes massive game franchises such as Pet Simulator X or just the Pet Simulator franchise, and even newer simulators on the rise such as Arm Wrestling Simulator. And I might even throw in Rock Paper Scissors Simulator, made by DB Plays, so shout out to him. However, are they truly living up to their title as simulators? So, join us on this journey as we attempt to peel back the layers and debunk the illusion surrounding Roblox simulators. Today, we'll be analyzing several games outside of Roblox. Are players merely drawn to the aesthetics and simplicity of Roblox simulators, or is there a deeper reason behind their popularity? And what makes a simulator a simulator? Should it be more enjoyable for the player, or should it be more realistic? Let's see. Now, before we begin, let's clarify what a simulator actually is. A simulator is defined as a game or software that imitates real-world activities or situations. It allows players to experience a virtual representation of something in a controlled environment. In this case, Roblox simulators claim to replicate various activities such as driving, farming, or even running your own business. But do these simulators truly deliver an authentic experience? Let's start by looking at driving simulators on Roblox. We have tons of these driving games, and games such as Driving Simulator, Driving Empire, and Drive World. Of course, I know there are many more, but it would take me ages to list all of them. And you might have noticed all of these games have the word drive, and all delivering the same experience, or at least similar experiences to players. Sometimes I personally just love to hop onto a driving game and just drive around to calm myself down. It's fun and relaxing, and yeah, sometimes it's peaceful to look at the map scenery, and I quite like this as an experience for myself. However, even though they aren't advanced mechanics within the cars and the driving, it still delivers a fun and enjoyable experience for players. Like I said, I don't want always to be worrying about stepping on a clutch or changing gears in a game. Like, if we were playing a game, we want to enjoy ourselves. So yeah, I quite like the simplicity of these games. They all deliver a fun and enjoyable experience. If we look at a game such as Ultimate Driving, the game has many jobs including being a trucker. Of course, we can link this to the game outside of Roblox, such as Euro Truck Simulator 2 or just Euro Truck Simulator, which is fairly popular. Both games are actually quite similar, except as you can imagine, Euro Truck Simulator is a lot more advanced, whereas Ultimate Driving delivers a more simple take on being a trucker. Though this could be just to do with Roblox being a more blocky and simple game in general. Like I said before, I don't want to be worrying about all this stuff. Roblox is a children's game, and I doubt a lot of children would understand how to change gears and stuff. So yeah, I think Roblox, it's a lot more simpler and a lot more fun in general, in my perspective at least. However, next, let's move on to farming simulators in Roblox. These games attempt to recreate the experience of managing a farm. But let's be honest, they simplify the process quite a bit. Real farming involves a multitude of tasks and challenges, from planting and harvesting crops to taking care of livestock. An amazing game that delivers this farming experience is Farming and Friends. This used to be one of my favorite games on the platform, as it's relaxing to plant, grow and harvest crops for money. I quite like the mechanics in the game, such as getting better trucks or getting better crops to sell. As the name suggests, if you have friends in the game, your experience is so much better. Again, this can be compared to games such as Farming Simulator outside of Roblox. Of course, as I said, like the driving example, Farming and Friends is so much simpler than a farming simulator, but again, this is probably to do with Roblox being a lot more simple in general. Lastly on our list, we have business simulators on Roblox. These games allow players to build and manage virtual businesses, but again, they often lack the complexity and depth of real-world business simulations. Running a real business requires in-depth knowledge of economics, marketing, management, and all that random stuff that I don't really mind or care about. Yeah, at least. Whereas Roblox business simulators focus more on the surface level aspects, such as making money, buying more stock, and buying more and more to make more money. I think that's the goal in most of these business simulators anyways. However, as I said before, it could be said about any job simulator in the world of gaming. Nothing is going to be like the real world in a video game. Like, imagine people having to run an actual business within a game. The reason why people play games is to relax. No one wants to be managing their own business 24/7 in the game, because if you were going to run a business, I would probably have done that in real life outside of Roblox or even outside of a gaming platform. Like, games are meant to be fun, relaxful, and players should enjoy themselves in the world they want to live in and simulate. Now, you might have noticed that many of the examples on the Roblox side that I gave don't have the word simulator in the name, besides Drive Simulator of course, but that's an exception. What I want to find out is if these games that are titled with the word simulator are really like simulators. Now, I'm going to start with one of my all-time favorites of simulators, Bee Swarm Simulator, which came out quite a few years ago. Now, an overall grindy game with fun characters, quests, and goals to complete. Bee Swarm Simulator is overall definitely fun to play. Now, of course, in real life, bees don't randomly going out to attack scorpions or go to the high mountains and fight chickens, still in their eggshells, or with eggshells on them. This is all added by the dev on it to make the game more enjoyable. This links back to something I said near the beginning, which is whether or not simulators should be realistic or should they just be fun and give the player an enjoyable experience. I think that On It had made a perfect game here, and it definitely deserves to have the name simulator up there, as it still keeps the aspect of realism within the game. Players are still going out and collecting pollen like regular bees and converting it to honey like regular bees would do in real life. Sure, some aspects in the game are unrealistic, but that's just how game developers make the game more fun and exciting for the player or user that's playing. So yeah. Now, skip over a month or two after Bee Swarm Simulator's release, we got the first Pet Simulator, Pet Simulator 1. There were many simulators before, such as Bubblegum Sim 2, but none really took off as Pet Simulator did. The Pet Simulator franchise is probably still one of the most popular, despised, or even take away the hate, it's still got thousands of players playing every single day, and of course at the moment as well. We're even getting a fourth Pet Simulator game coming soon. However, you can argue that they aren't actually real simulators, since they aren't simulating something from real life. People don't use their dog and cats to attack coins. Well, at least I hope not. But these simulators on Roblox are more of just clicker simulators in general. They also get quite repetitive, which that I will touch on later. And I think one can probably argue that a true simulator on Roblox would be fun. For example, Animal Simulator, where you simply play as an animal. The name of the game, Animal Simulator, is just animal and the word simulator. Just from the name you can tell what it is. You play as an animal in a simulation. Easy, it's fun, and it replicates something more realistic in real life, such as playing as, I don't know, a wolf going out hunting, and you can even roleplay in these games, which is quite fun for those roleplayers out there. However, compared to these games such as Pet Simulator, they don't really give the true simulator vibe, and this is actually the response I got from many different people when I asked them the question, what do you think makes a simulator a simulator? They answered with a realistic game that portrays something in life, usually like a farming or driving game. I mentioned before that, these farming and driving games, they're probably a lot more realistic than games such as Pet Simulator X. Because when I ask these people to link their views of simulators to Pet Simulator X, or games such as Pet Simulator, their ideas contradicted. Clicker games and games like Pet Simulator don't give a vibe of a simulation, but are more of their own branches of games, you could say. So technically, we could say that Roblox can have their own take on simulators, or simulator games on Roblox are their own genre unto themselves. And I definitely agree with all the people that said this, so shout out to them. I won't give any names since I want to keep these people anonymous, just for privacy reasons and stuff. However, this brings me on to the practical stage of our show today. I have picked a couple of simulator games on the front page and from my recommendation list, and we'll see if they are really simulators. First off, we're starting with a game called Bad Cat. Now, though this game may not have the name Bad Cat Simulator, it's still a simulator. In the game, the player plays as a cat and searches around for things to destroy in the house. By the end of the game, the entire house is left in flames and burning. This game is probably one of the best examples of a simulator game I could find, at the time at least, when I was making the script. I think if we called the game Cat Simulator, we would probably have different thoughts just by looking at the title of the game. One would probably think that the game was a replica or similar to Pet Simulator X, where we use cats and destroy cans of tunas lying around. So I think the word simulator has really taken an impact on tons of games on Roblox. Now next, we have a game with the word simulator in the name this time, Sword Fighters Simulator. If it was a simulator, my first guess would be the players would fight monsters with swords in a simulation. And surprisingly, this would generally be what the game was about. Or that's what I thought the game would be about. You'd go around, kill these monsters. However, the one thing that did put me off when playing were the egg pets. It seems like all these simulators do have the same pets, though they might not look all the same, but it seems like not all of these simulators really need pets. Like maybe, because I'm going around fighting with my sword, attacking these monsters, and I don't need like a cat hanging around behind me, in my opinion at least. Another thing I noticed while playing these games was that they are pretty much the same. We have a game such as Arm Wrestling Simulator, which was, I think, you can correct me if you want, but one of the original games in that format it is, where you would train and fight the different bosses one by one, and of course you increase your skill and open eggs to get stronger pets. And when I first did play it, I thought it was super cool. Then I came to the others. We got games such as IQ War Simulator, which basically follows the exact same gameplay. Now, I'm not trying to disencourage the game developers to make their own games, but I kind of feel like they all look the same. I think all these Roblox simulators are getting boring and repetitive, And I think it's even putting bad light on the word simulator on Roblox games. I know tons of Roblox creators out there do kind of hate simulators, or at least the word simulator, because whenever we think of the word simulator, the first game that comes to my mind, and probably most people's minds, is Pet Simulator, where you just get pet, tack coins, and that's it. Now, afterwards, I brought my views to the floor, and I asked a couple of my friends around who mostly decided to keep their names anonymous, as I said before, so I will be keeping all the names anonymous anyways now, just to respect everyone's privacy. Now, some people were on the younger side, and others were on the older side. The younger side played Roblox a lot of the time, whereas the older generations played simulation games outside of Roblox a lot more. So the question I asked them first was, what do you think makes a simulator game a simulator in general? The younger side, as you can imagine, mostly answered with things that aligned more with games such as Pet Simulator X and other Roblox simulators like that. Oh, by the way, all these people on the younger side range from the bottom of Gen Z to Gen Alpha. And on the other hand, the older generation, ranging from Gen Y all the way to Gen X, had views that generally align with the definition of a simulator, a game which simulates stuff in real life. Some of them gave examples such as The Sims, Farming Simulator. One in particular did mention Euro Truck Simulator, which I did again mention before. And you can see how Roblox has changed the views of simulators off the minds of the younger generations, as they mostly thought games such as pet simulators were what simulators were meant to be like. The older generations, on the other hand, have views more aligned with what simulators are defined as. When I asked them on how they felt their views aligned with current Roblox games, you can imagine the younger generation said that they thought Pet Simulator like games were fun on what simulators should be like. And as you can imagine, the older generations thought games like Pet Simulator are fun, but never really gave that simulator vibe. However, what did come up in most of the answers was the repetitiveness of each game. They thought they all felt the same. Most of them thought that Roblox was kind of overrun, if not by all these simulators. And I highly agree with this, and I even made a short about a week ago on this. But yeah, in conclusion, I think that Roblox simulators are almost like their own genre of a game. They aren't true simulators like the big ones up there, but they still give players of all ages some fun, and that's why we get so many players playing Arm Wrestling Simulator out there and Pet Simulator out there. It's all fun and enjoyment every now and then. But I do agree that they are getting quite repetitive, and I think that's probably just developers struggling to think of ideas, and I don't blame them. I probably couldn't think of a game myself, so yeah. And before we end today's episode, we are going to ask ChatGPT. I know, using AI, right? Don't worry, I didn't use it to write the script though. I'm just getting their thoughts on Roblox simulators, and I will sum up what they said. So here we go. Not all Roblox simulators are created with the same level of realism in mind. Some may use the term simulator more loosely and focusing on providing a fun and simplified experience rather than an accurate simulation. In these cases, the term simulator may be used more for marketing purposes or to describe a game genre rather than to indicate a high level of realism. Ultimately, whether a Roblox simulation is truly a simulator or not depends on the specific game and its goals. Players should read descriptions, reviews, and try out games to get a sense of how accurately they simulate the activities they claim to represent. I highly agree with this. Don't really listen to me here. If you see a game that looks interesting and fun, go play it. No one's here to stop you. And I think that is a great way to end today's show. Roblox simulators fall into their own category of a game, and they are all simple simulators. such as Pet Simulator, and there are realistic simulators such as Farming and Friends. We have a huge range on Roblox, and I kind of like it that way. So, if you did find today's episode interesting, then do consider liking and subscribing. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you out there, both here in the studio and watching from galaxies near and far. Your engagement makes this show truly out of this world, and additionally, I would like to give a massive thank you to DV Players, Ash and Witchy for supporting me throughout my YouTube journey so far. We've been creating for just over a year, and this is amazing. But that's a goodbye from me for now, and as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Stay safe, everyone.